Welcome back. Why you're always hungry in a calorie deficit and how to fix it. The big thing to think of in this video, you don't need to suffer, lose weight, but you do need realistic targets and enough fiber. Saw this online. Click like if you can relate to it. I used an online calculator to calculate what I need to lose about 1 pound per week. Sticking to it the past few weeks has been very difficult and close to impossible. I am so hungry, even with eating high volume, low calorie foods and more protein. It honestly feels like the only way I can stick to this is by skipping at least one meal per day, which just isn't maintainable for me. If my body is telling me I'm hungry, it feels unsafe and unsustainable to withhold food from myself. But at the same time, how else am I supposed to lose the weight? Click like if that's something you relate to. I'm going to break it down for you in this video so you know why you're hungry. All right, if it's your first time here, my name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help business owners lose weight and feel their best without crash diets or guilt. If you want help figuring out whether your calorie target is realistic, the live on a scorecard below gives you your best next steps to take. It's free and it's quick. Check it out. Now, if a plan makes you constantly hungry, the issue is the plan, not your discipline. Now, something that's really fortunate for this person is that they already recognize that this is a problem with their plan, and it's not like there's something wrong with them or their body or something. A lot of times people will think that something's wrong with them. They feel broken. They feel mentally weak. They feel like they lack discipline or willpower. They go through all kinds of struggles and they feel awful about themselves because they picked an unrealistic plan. Now, this person has identified, like, hey, something's not right here, and I don't think it's me. And that's where you want to at least start when it comes to picking a healthy, realistic, sustainable plan for weight loss. Now, being a little hungry during a weight loss journey is common. Your body is striving for homeostasis. So if you're losing weight, your body's like, hey, we got to eat more to make up for that. And you have to do specific things usually in order to reduce that hunger and stay on track. Having systems to make effective choices definitely helps that. So feeling a little hungry is kind of common. What you don't want to do is feel a little hungry and then eat like a whole pan of cinnamon rolls, right? Or make some kind of big choice with like a lot of added calories, high fat, high sugar foods. Instead, create a system, maybe meal prep, meal plan, understanding that you're going to be hungry, understanding nutrition and calories and foods, right? Those are kinds of things that can help you make decisions so you don't get stuck and feel bad about yourself. However, being super hungry usually means that the deficit is too aggressive or the diet isn't set up right. Right. So let's look at a little bit more in this. Weight loss doesn't have to be 1 pound per week. Slower loss is often more sustainable and less stressful. A lot of people, when it comes to weight loss planning, they think I need to lose weight as fast as possible. And then that's going to set you up for a challenging time because you're trying to lose weight at a rate that's hard to sustain. Your body's like, no, I'm hungry. Give me something to eat. And then you're like, all right, cool, I'll do it. But then you feel bad about yourself. Now, 1 pound per week is kind of like a typical vibe, standard, generally speaking. However, it doesn't have to be 1 pound per week. It can be more gradually that. And the bigger focus, the thing to focus on here and think about is like, do you want to lose weight fast or for good? I made a video about that one time where it's just like, if you just try to lose weight as fast as possible, you're more likely to get stuck and then revert back versus like the time is going to continue anyway. If you lose weight more gradually and consistently and you stay on track with that, that's going to get you to your results sooner than like starting and stopping and yo-yo diets and crash diets and all that other stuff. So keep this in mind. It doesn't always have to be 1 pound per week. It doesn't have to be anything per week, right? If you make a small enough sustainable change over time that's more gradual and you still get the results, then that is you getting the results that you want. So there's that. A goal of 1 pound per week may not be relevant to you, your stress, lifestyle, or hunger signals. Any idea that you have, some people go for 2 pounds per week, which is even more aggressive, right? And it all depends on your body, your lifestyle, your starting point, your hormones and personal physiology, your individual circumstances, and all of that. Now, if you want help and guidance with that, let me know. I'll be glad to help. Send me a message on Instagram or in the comments below. But what we want to do is make sure that your weight loss goal, your targeted rate of change, and your subsequent calorie target are realistic and sustainable for you and your needs. because that's who needs to do it. You need to make those choices. So you have to understand the context in the system where you're making it. One thing that will help you here will help almost everyone. Seriously, almost everyone is eating enough fiber. I feel like I talk about this several times a day because I batch record all my videos at once. And I was just talking about fiber. Most people eat about 13 grams of fiber per day, or like basically none. Like if you haven't had a fruit or vegetable all day, you can only remember the last time you had some beans, right? You're probably low on fiber. And then that's a big part of why people's hunger feels out of control, because that tons of benefits to fiber, health benefits, but also satisfaction benefits. And I even made a video one time. There's emerging research on how fiber feeds your gut microbiome, those like bacteria in your large intestine create short term or short, wait, what is it? Short chain fatty acids that stimulate GLP-1 receptors, just like those medications that are really popular, semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, that kind of stuff. Your body creates those endogenously on its own or based on that interaction with the gut flora, and fiber does that. So that's a whole long video. I'll put that in the description below so you can check it out. But basically, eat more fiber. Believe it, all right? Fiber and water add volume without adding calories. In addition to like the sciencey stuff of it, they add volume without adding calories, helping you feel fuller longer. And that helps. The guidance that I learned in my nutrition undergrad program, 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. So if you're on an 1,800 calorie per day diet, then that's 25 grams of fiber per day. And if fat loss is your goal, then you probably want to eat even more fiber than that. You're aiming for 30 to 40 grams of fiber instead of skipping meals. So this is a key to weight loss. This fiber, eating high fiber foods, water, staying hydrated, all that stuff. So those are the biggest thing when it comes to why you're hungry, probably just not getting enough fiber or having a weight loss calorie target that's too aggressive for your needs and life that you want to live. Check out that Live and Line scorecard below so you can find out what the next step you need to take is. And then next you can watch Calorie Deficit Isn't Enough. Here's why. It's where I break down why a calorie deficit is important, but it's not enough on its own, and what other factors actually influence your results. I'll put that video up here. So that's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.